Hi, I'm Ruth, and this is my pair of shoes. I bought them because they looked really soft, and when I put them on, they've got a sort of moulded, suede kind of insole, and it felt like putting my feet into a pair of gloves. They're really soft. I found them in Amsterdam when I went there with some friends, and I was really chuffed with myself for getting these shoes because I just love them so much. Shoeaholic! Someone who's addicted to buying shoes. No, not really. I joke that I'm a shoeaholic. These shoes are not, these are rubbish in terms of comfort, even though they're nice and soft, feel nice against their skin. I wouldn't wear them to walk anywhere really, any distance. And I love walking, and I've had problems with my feet, not when I haven't been able to walk, and I'm always trying to find shoes that are really supportive and really comfortable and I can really walk a long way in. Amsterdam's definitely the furthest away they've ever been from me since I've owned them. I mean, I was with them, but so they're not walking shoes. I like, when I put on my shoes and do my laces, I'm sort of getting prepared to kind of move, and I love the feel of stretching out a kind of when I leave the house. So I look forward to that. I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm looking forward to coming into work. I would probably, things I look forward to are at the weekend. I don't like, the challenges that a student brings, or in the job, whatever, that can't be fixed. Those are the things I dread, and there's other things that that are very satisfying. I don't really want to go into details about those. I love looking at gardens, and so when I'm walking down the street, I'm always looking to see over the fence, over the wall, looking into people's front gardens or back gardens if I can see them. Parks and gardens and buildings, I love. That's or landscapes, sort of big three-dimensional things, either static or on the move. I'm always noticing new things. It could be a detail on a building, the way the stone is cut, around the windows, and the kind of proportions in the architecture. I'm always looking up at stuff like that when I'm walking along, and then kind of looking in deep, and sort of looking in detail. I'm always noticing things. Even though I've lived here all my life, on and off-ish, if I thought, where would I like to live, I wouldn't think here, where I am. I do imagine other people's, jobs or the position they're in, being there. Just now, a few days ago, I was visiting this topiary gardens near the Lake District, and I, stopped and was asking the gardener about, how long it takes to do this, and how many people, how did they do that, and lots of other questions. And I was sort of thinking, God, that would be, amazing to work there, throughout the year, and to spend, I think he said it takes about a team of gardeners about 6 months to cut all the hedges and the topiary. And I'm sort of imagining that I'm one of them. I was in the Yorkshire Dales a couple of days ago on this trip that went on, and there was one particular valley that we drove up, and there was this amazing kind of, the far side of the valley was it's kind of quite bleak, hill farmy, sort of moor tops, and it was just a huge kind of blank kind of side to this valley, and I just thought imagine you lived here, and you can see that every day, and throughout the seasons and the weather and everything, and I thought so I'm sort of imagining that I'm that I'm living there, and then how isolated it would be, and how I would feel about that. Yeah, if I think of basic things, and I think, but that's people don't have that, so that's kind of it's not that, it's a luxury what I sort of think of the things that are important, like having space to, having some space to be creative, whether that's just growing some plants in pots, or having having space and time is to do or think, or be without being kind of bombarded with things you have to do in life. You see, that's a luxury. When I had 2 young children, and I didn't have, I struggled with not having time, feeling exhausted, not having time and space to think or do anything apart from do what needed to be done. I just feel like the world sort of has starting to close in, physically, in terms of the ease of travel and living. And my friend of mine was just in France, thinking about moving to France, and the ease of being able to do that will affects everybody, even if we're not, even if I don't think it's going to affect me personally. I'm aware of this kind of shrinking feeling that the world is not so accessible, and I find myself kind of, I adapt to people more than they adapt to me, and that sort of, I feel that's a sort of frustration that I have. So in terms of kind of taking control of your life, I don't think I've probably done that as much as I feel I should have. Some of it I'm too adaptable. Probably more insecurity than confidence, although I have a very highly inflated idea of some of my talents. I'd like people to remember me, for I don't know, for good things that I'd done, with my personality. So, I'd like to be remembered fondly, rather than physical things. Have made a difference to people's lives, I suppose. I'm not as confident as I seem. Somehow, it's not as, if you were to walk in my shoes, it's not as easy as it looks. I don't know, about being frightened or being fragile. I'm offering myself to various people to practice in their gardens, and I sort of have this imaginary new career, in which I will be topiarist at large. It's clipping trees and hedges and bushes and plants into shapes, so cutting a hedge, but also sculpting shapes. Well, I'm hoping to travel to Iceland. I'm doing a long distance walk there. I'm very excited about that.